Hello everyone, welcome to another Bass Singer reaction. Before I get started, I am just getting over a cold. I've had a sore throat for the last few days. I've been doing nothing but resting to recover, but I'm not back to vocal strength yet, so I probably won't be demonstrating as much. But the show must go on, and I need to get some new reactions out to you guys. This being one of them, one I'm very excited to listen to. I have held off listening to this one. I held off listening to Tommy P's new song, and I've held off listening to Home Free's new song so I can do first times for all those, because I know you guys enjoy it a bit more when you get to see my genuine reaction the first time as opposed to, you know, going back and analyzing a song I've already seen before. So I'm trying to do more of those. The timing rarely works out. I'm making the timing work out right now for you guys, so I hope you enjoy. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel, and if you really like what I'm doing, please consider donating to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. This is Geoff's new cover of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, his low bass singer cover. I've heard from people he didn't go quite as heavy with the super low bass stuff and actually took a bit of a lighter approach to it, which I'm very excited to hear and interested to break that down. So I love everything Geoff does. I can't wait to see what he does with this extremely well-known Christmas hymn or Christmas tune, Christmas song, holiday song, whatever you want to call it. This time of year, it comes around. Pentatonics is a very famous version. You know, most a cappella groups have covered this piece. It's a well-known a cappella jam during the holidays. So I got my Santa hat on, got my Pit Vipers ready. That'll be a nice combo. I actually don't think I've worn them both, so we'll see how that goes. I got my little piano ready, and yeah, guys, let's dive in. Let's have some fun. Geoff, God rest ye merry gentlemen.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day.
Well, I mean, he's starting off with a B1 in chest. It's not so light. Of course, I say, I hear he's doing this one much lighter. God, and then just blast to B1. All right, okay. Maybe I was misled. Maybe I was misled by people who have heard this song so far. But either way, it sounds great. And, you know, B1 for Geoff, of course, is not the lowest part of his range. That is a very reliable chest note for him any time of day. So, truth be told, that's not him showing off his lowest notes. But a B1 is still a B1, and that is definitely still low bass territory. Aside from that, again, Geoff, smart man, starting off nice and minimal so he can set up some contrast going forward. There's just a little bit of light harmony happening in the background, and of course, a lot of open space for his solo voice to fill our ears. Let's run that back. Let's run that back. Oh, this Geoff on the left here is looking over. I wonder if that's intentional or if like it started recording a bit too early or something.
God rest ye merry gentlemen.
Oh, I get it. He was like taking the start off the Geoff here, second from the right. So he's like looking over to see when that Geoff's gonna start. That's a little production side detail that I respect.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save.
Oh, there's a little suspension there. Day.
Born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
Wow, okay, where this is headed is a surprise. But what I liked what he did in the background is he had a lot of variation in the syllables he was using for his background harmony cronies here. He was using ms and oohs and ahs, and he was keeping it varied throughout, which keeps it interesting. Especially if he's intentionally setting up this big contrast here, he could easily have gotten away with just staying on or ooh or even oh, even ah. Ah is probably a bit too aggressive for the first verse to stay on there, but an or an ooh will always blend super well and does not create much volume, so it pretty much creates automatic contrast to where you're going. But I like that he had some variation there, so it was not just him sitting on one vowel shape in the background. He was varying the vowel shapes while he was doing the solo, so it was just a little spice of creativity thrown in to keep that part interesting when it could have been very stagnant. Nice work, Geoff. Now this sounds like it's about to get crazy, which I was not expecting at all.
Gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray.
Woe, tidings of comfort and joy.
Comfort and joy. Tidings of comfort and joy.
Very, very, very cool. Wow, I have never heard a version of this. I don't even know if you call these covers because the originals are. I don't know where the original is. Probably a long time ago. This version of the song, I haven't heard it. It's so funny. Geoff, he loves putting these drives into things. He did the same thing with Misty Mountains. He loves the drive. He did the same thing with House on the Rising Sun. It's like these slow ballads that he turns into like this driving song. I personally love it. I think it's creative, and I think it sounds cool, and it kind of flips this song we've all known since growing up on its head, and it turns it into something totally new. And he pulls it off convincingly. I want to go back and listen to that whole section again. There were a few things I want to flag. So he's already what else is he doing? So he sang vocally. He was singing a bit lighter in the first verse when it was more pulled back, kind of stripped down. But now he's intentionally producing. It's a more powerful tone. It has more resonance in it. It's also a slightly darker tone, which is adding to this kind of the heft in the vibe we've got going on here. So you can tell right from that first B natural. If you compare that one, now also in the first verse, his B naturals were beefier than the rest, which I think is just kind of what he does when he gets into that range. He puts a little more into those notes. But here, if you compare the ones in the first verse to this verse, it's already more beefed up. And then if you compare the rest of his singing in the first verse to this verse, it's also more beefed up and more intense and more fitting with what's happening in the background.
Very gentlemen, let nothing you dismay.
So there's no background harmonies right now. It's just Geoff and drums.
Remember
There they
Christ
are.
our Savior was born on Christmas Day.
Cool. Very cool. So coming on mms. Where are we now? A little flat 6 in there. I guess we must be in E minor. I love it when that resolves. We just heard that when the mms came in.
Our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray.
Woe, tidings of comfort and joy.
Comfort and joy.
A natural.
Tidings of comfort and joy. Now to the Lord sing praise.
No, there's no resolve on joy there. Comfort and boom, right into the next verse. So that's interesting. It's tempting to give him a Viper on that A natural. Because that was a very, yeah, you know what? He deserves it. A very thick, resonant, exposed chest A natural.
Comfort and joy, tidings. Satan's power when we were gone astray.
Woe, tidings of comfort and joy.
Comfort and joy, tidings of comfort and joy. Now to the Lord sing praises.
Lord, sing praises.
Now to the Lord sing praises.
The Lord, sing
Now to the
Very creative. Very creative. I love it. I love it so much. And to the Lord. And so he sings it, then he gets an echo. We also now have some strings. We have some nice strings coming into the background, which adds a lot. I love when a piece becomes more orchestral in that sense. But we have a call and response going on here. So Geoff sings the solo line, his cronies sing the background repetition of that line, and adding a bit of flair to the rhythms is very, very good use of that, of the text repetition. If you just repeat text the same, it gets boring. If you repeat text differently, it can keep it interesting.
comfort and joy. Now to the Lord sing praises.
The Lord, sing praises.
Oh,
To the Lord
great.
sing praises.
The Lord, sing
Now to the Lord sing praise.
Something cool happening on the audio engineering is I think we have Geoff on those solo lines here and here. I think we have 3 Geoffs, either multiple takes or the same take panned a certain way.
Tidings of comfort and joy. Now to the Lord sing praises.
Not on that one. That one's straight center.
Now to the Lord sing praises.
Yeah. Oh, that's another variation from the production size. The first one's just one Geoff singing that solo line. The second version, I believe there are 3 takes of him singing that line, one in each ear, panned far left, right, and one still in the center. So you get like this Triforce, this Trinity, perhaps, of Geoff's singing in forward and in both ears. That's a very smart, again, something that the text repeats, and now his solo line would have been the same. He's singing the same melody, singing the same text, but instead, there's 3 of him doing it slightly off, so you can hear, if you listen with good headphones, you can hear that there are 3, one happening in each ear and forward. And it creates a different soundscape, and it, again, just keeps it interesting. It keeps it fresh.
Now to the Lord sing praises, all you within this place, and with true love and brotherhood each other now embrace.
Holy tide of Christmas, all others doth defend.
Whoa, tidings of comfort and joy. Comfort and joy, oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
Geoff always has these moments, he does it in Headless Horseman, where it'll be one Geoff taking the solo for a while, but then he actually gives the meat of the melody to his background singers and lets them take over. So we got a bit of that there too. And again, it's another thing that adds, it keeps things fresh and is creative. So instead of him just one Geoff solo the whole time, it's like kind of passing the baton back and forth a bit. And it's cool because when he passes it to his background Geoffs, they sing the solo line, but with harmonies added in. So it's good. It's good. It's I love this version. Is very cool. I have not heard a version of this song like this before.
Whoa, tidings of comfort and joy. Comfort and joy, oh, tidings of comfort and joy. God rest ye merry gentlemen. God rest ye merry gentlemen.
Oh, this is cool.
The shepherds at those tidings rejoiced much in mind, and left their flocks a feeding in tempest, storm, and wine.
Very cool. I want to go back and listen to this round again. Everyone sang some kind of choir in elementary school, right? So we used to do it used to be the thing where it was like, you know, row, row, row your boat gently down the row, row, row your boat gently down. Or on some interval, you would jump in and you'd keep singing, even though all these different melodies were riding over each other. That's called a round. And Geoff was just doing that with this section where one voice part of his would take that lead, then another one would, another one. They kind of intertwine in and out. And then he goes from there into another cool section where it's much more stripped down, much more chamber choir-like. I believe he removed all the instruments. And there was no low bass either until he comes back in with the solo at the end of it. So just two back-to-back sections that were cool and unique and worked. They work. It's all about what works. I don't care how I really don't care how you flip a song on its head or change it, as long as it works. Does it work? You know, does it gel? Is it something that you have to explain a bunch to the listener for them to get it, or do they just get it because it works? Big on that. Big on things just working. And this works, baby. This works.
God rest ye merry gentlemen. God rest ye merry gentlemen.
So what makes this not exactly a true round is that a true round, they'd be starting in the same intervals apart, and they would be singing the whole text. He's just singing God rest you merry gentlemen. So it's, I don't know what the term would be. It's not exactly a round, but it definitely has round vibes. Hashtag round vibes. So not a true round. It's like a pseudo round, if you will.
The shepherds at those tidings rejoiced much in mind, and left their flocks a feeding.
Now we're back in church.
In tempest, storm, and wine. And went to Bethlehem.
Now we're not.
Straightway the Son of God to find. Tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy.
Hey, natural.
Tidings of comfort and joy. Now to the
A Picardy third. I love Picardy thirds. I've talked about this before. Picardy third is when there's a song in minor, but then the final chord, I thought it was going to be the last chord. It's not the last chord. Resolves to major. So we're in E minor, then it resolves in E major. I love that. I think they're fantastic. Aeolian cadence and Picardy thirds will get me every time. But we got to go back and listen to this because there are just so many cool variations happening. Okay, so we had, I can remember all these. We had the pseudo round, hashtag round vibes. Then we had the stripped down version where we were like kind of back in church singing a hymn. And then we had another upbeat section with the lights flashing in the background. And then he strips it down again, even further to where it's really stripped down, really minimal. Just like back to back to back to back. It's fantastic. There's 4 totally unique sections. We're not going to listen to the first 2 because we already repeated them. But I want to hear these last 2 again. So these are lights flashing and then back to the totally stripped down version. Full strip. Not even the first strip down was a strip tease. This last one, full on strip from Geoff.
And went to Bethlehem, straightway the Son of God to find. Tidings of comfort and joy.
2 voices.
Comfort and joy.
oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
Now that's another nice thing. Usually, as I pointed out earlier, when Geoff goes down into the first octave especially, he often darkens a little more than what's natural, pushes a little more with what's natural, so he gets this big, beefy sound down there, which is great, and it's great for an effect, and it's exciting when he does that. I personally love it when he goes down fully naturally, and it's not as powerful, it's not as dark, and it's not as resonant, but you can tell it's what his voice would do if he just kind of relaxed down into it. I love that. So people are like, oh, that B1 wasn't as powerful, or, whatever. Like, that B1 didn't sound as good as his other ones. I like it when he does that. I think it sounds more true to his natural voice. Beep, boop, bop. It's the other one where he does this well, and it's very low in his range, is the slide on Bare Necessities down to that G1. You can tell it's very well connected, and it's very natural down there. He's not pushing to get more power out of it. It just is what it is. And I love that. Natural singing is where it's at, baby.
Comforted. Now to the Lord sing praises. Now to the Lord sing. Now to the Lord sing praises. Now to the Lord sing. Comfort and joy.
Yeah. He did do a Picardy third. What's funny is I wasn't... you hear this big, beefy subharmonic E1, and it sounds dark and mysterious on its own, because that's kind of how low bass notes sound. And then he hits us with the... Oh, Geoff. I also... that last section was cool. They had a bunch of cascading vocals coming in and out with different words. So again, keeping variety, throwing things in to keep it interesting. We're gonna listen to that again, that last section, and we're gonna give Geoff his Pit Vipers. Double Pit Viper for Geoff today, for a nice thick A1 chest, and then finishing on an E1 subharmonic, a la Oogie Boogie Man.
The Lord sing praises. Now to the Lord sing. Comfort and joy. Comfort and joy.
Woo! Bravo. Really nice. Really nice. I really like that. I think there are plenty of holiday Christmas tunes that are just like, ugh, here we go again, and they've been around for so long that I think it's time people do stuff like this where they really take a song, they extract enough from the original to maintain the core of the piece, at least in some respects, but they add their own spin on it. Geoff really did that today, and really a fantastic cover. I always like listening to Geoff's new stuff. I'm glad I waited, and I'm taking my time with these guys. I get so many comments like, don't worry about taking your time. So I'm going to take my time with these. So who knows how long that was? Probably like 25 minutes. 25 action-packed minutes. So much creativity. And yeah, I guess it wasn't as bassy as Misty Mountains or like 16 tons, but that was pretty damn bassy. It's Geoff. He's a low bass. You can't really get away from it. You know what I mean? Anyway, guys, had a lot of fun. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all you. Whatever holidays you choose to celebrate are all good. This was fun. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.